Welcome to Tea Time, a Plus TV program that brings you all of the latest entertainment stories. Okay, so we bring you all of the most exciting stories locally and globally. I'm Tokumbo Taiwo, and I'm here with my regular co-anchors. And if you don't know who they are, they breathe in and breathe out the slightest thing that has anything whatsoever to do with entertainment. I'm talking about the able Elsie Godwin and the capable Ife Oshunkeye. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Are you trying to rhyme?
Do you want us to
I
fake
always
cry?
rhyme, so I don't know what you're talking about
fake cry.
anyway.
Fat is the time. Tea time.
Anyway, so like last night actually, I saw this picture that was like making the rounds on Instagram, and it was 4 ladies, but it had the heads of men, including, you saw that picture,
Don
didn't
Jazzy.
you? Don Jazzy and everything.
Who else?
It was Don Jazzy.
Okay, Techno. No, the heads.
The heads.
They changed the heads.
Techno, Don
Jazzy,
Davido,
Flavor.
and Flavor.
It was absolutely hilarious though. I just thought very, very funny. And everyone was like posting that picture. And then eventually I saw one of the pictures where they showed Omoni Obule and her crew. And then they showed the 4 of them, the 4 guys as well. So that was really quite interesting.
For me, Don Jazzy's shape there was quite interesting.
And that was Uche Jumbo.
I know, but you know, putting Don Jazzy's head on that body.
I was like, when I posted it, I was like, if you don't laugh
like that, though, they had to write Chef Chi behind him and
some kind of subtle shade.
Yeah, like a shade, like she's in charge.
Have a look. I mean, it's just absolutely hilarious. I just
the rest of them carried their names, but why Davido?
Why didn't he carry?
Yeah, why didn't he carry his own name?
I don't know. But like you say, probably
and then he's the only one with the earrings.
Maybe Davido is the only one in love.
But Don Jazzy is just absolutely hilarious.
To me.
Whoever did this job did a very good thing because the photo editing is so seamless. You can't tell the difference where the difference between the head and the neck and the part of the body.
I can tell.
And then the person made sure Don Jazzy's head came up a bit because Uche Jumbo's head wasn't that
high,
visible,
So all right.
Don Jazzy is a slave queen.
So if you have to date any of them, if you were a guy, who would it be?
None of them, I would imagine. Yeah, I trust. Anyway, anything else that was new or making the trends on social media before we move on?
I was talking of the fake cry, but you didn't get it at that point. Skills.
Oh, and Davido's thing.
Yeah, and Olamide says you people should not kill us with emotional. What do you call it? Something
that emotional or something like that.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, did you find it too emotional?
No.
No, I didn't even think they were crying to start.
Yeah,
exactly. I didn't see any tears. I just saw them hugging.
Bond, like,
yes, they were just hugging anyway. Okay, we do have a studio guest on today's show, and it's time to introduce that guest. He's a Nigerian poet, playwright, film actor, director, and producer. He has since starred in over 100 Nigerian films, a few of which he produced and directed as well. His television credits include Domino, Emerald, So Wrong, So Right, and Desperate Housewives Africa, just to mention a few. With 145,000 followers on Instagram and over 22,000 on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the charming, the cheerful Chief Femi Branch.
You didn't lay emphasis on that chief. The chief has
I suspected somebody was going to do that. I just knew somebody was going to do that.
Asha of Ede.
Asha. Even he corrected in Yoruba. I mean, because he always corrects me.
Asha.
Asha.
Can I have you say the full title? Because we're just mentioning
He's
little bits.
murdering. He's like
Exactly. So let's hear it from you directly.
That's the Jaguar Shah of Edeland.
Okay.
Jaguar Shah means the defender of culture.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so let me start with that because that's one of the, it's like, does that mean you come from a royal family or it's that part of the, the noble family in that part of the land?
Well, it was an honor because I'm not even from Ede.
Oh, I see.
So it was an honor that was bestowed on me by His Royal Majesty, that's the Timi of Edeland.
Okay.
So it's an induction into the nobility of the land.
Okay, because I also know that you were vocal about, the recent marriage where you said something about maybe the wife of is it Oni of Ife that stepping over, people assumed it was blood, so I don't know if you can reiterate your stance on that.
Yes, in fact, I'd like to even
clarify certain things.
Not even clarify, I'd like to
Enlighten people.
Nah. I like because at the end of the day, the whole essence was to clarify, what happened or what was happening. But having seen the response of people to it, I was like,
you can't.
As in, why did I even bother? Because people will always believe what they want to believe. And my current stand is this: what if it was blood? As in, seriously, because there are some things that we question, like, and I hardly read through comments, but my wife has, women, you guys have more time to do it. She's watching me now, I know I'm in trouble. But she does my social media filtering, so to speak. She's the one that will come, oh, go check, there's a comment on this, there's this, and then, so she pointed out a comment that somebody made, and the person was like, look, you people are so hypocritical. If you had seen something like this on what's this, a Bollywood
Z World.
In Z World, it was in a Bollywood film or something like that. You people wouldn't have said anything. They have their marriage rights where the wife is coming, they pour all these funny powders and everything. They do all this, you understand? And you guys are entertained by that, and you feel that's all good. But because it's now Nigeria, it's now here, it's now home, you feel that also automatically gives you a right to just criticize or be critical. And I was like, well, this is actually making sense. Because, and at the end of the day, I was like, this is our culture. You don't question it. You just do not. There are some things you just do not do. I was reading, I was online and everything. There are some institutions that you just don't. It's a no-go area. And that is what this generation is not really so much into. Social media has given everybody so much access to places or personalities that ordinarily you wouldn't. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm all for free speech and all of that. But then again, there are some, when it comes to traditional institutions, I mean, it is our culture. And remember, it's social media. The whole world is reading what you're writing there from everywhere. And they're seeing what we're saying. We're berating ourselves, we're belittling ourselves and all of that. I think, okay, I can't use the word on television, but there's a name for people that do that kind of thing.
But surely you would understand, because one of the things that I saw, and I'm not like trying to defend anyone or what they said, but they were going on the basis that of her religious stance and that she's a prophetess and something like that. So that was where they were coming from, not religion. If it was someone who was saying they're not a prophetess, I think if it was just an ordinary person as well, I think that what you said regarding tradition would have played a major part.
See, we're hypocritical people. We're hypocritical people. That's just the truth. As in the first place, number one, what is your beeswax?
Exactly.
One. Then most of that stuff will come from beef. Forget it. I'm glad this is live on Instagram. Yeah, it is. You understand? It is. What if she was 7?
It doesn't make any difference.
Do you understand? He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to. Do you understand? It is not for you to question.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You have no right, moral or otherwise, to question that institution, because you are not just questioning the person, you are questioning the throne.
Yes.
Who are you to do that? Like, for real?
The whole institution.
Do you understand? Then you say she's a prophetess, why she should do this and everything. Okay, definitely, because we're very funny. Even in the Christian religion, we have in some white garment churches and everything and all that. We have some that still do some spiritual. There are some spiritual processes that they do that even involves the killing of rams and stuff like that. Some people say it's Old Testament. Some people say it's New Testament. You understand all of that? So, what is your business? Then if you want to talk about things like this, you need to do your research, do your homework. So when you are talking, at least try and make sense. Do you understand? Don't just be coming from echoing somebody else's stupidity. Do you understand? That's what it is.
All right. Before we ask our next question, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll be carrying on with our conversation with actor and director Chief Baba Femi Branch. Don't go anywhere.
What we do not understand, we will stigmatize.
What you can see is the remaining of the tanker that exploded.
The suspect equally confessed.
A 500 naira they collect them.
If you no talk, then go beat you.
Now 2,500 and they pay.
Welcome back. It's tea time on Plus TV Africa, and we're about to continue with our conversation with Chief Baba Femi Branch, actor and director. Before the break, Elsie was going to ask a question, so, you know, the ball is in your court.
Forgive me when I laugh when the chief comes up, because I'm very used to calling you Femi Branch. So when, you know, but I'm still going, traditional. I'm going to ask, how traditional are you? That's one. And then secondly, your current title, what roles come with it? What responsibility do you have to carry out, and how is it going to affect the Femi Branch we love and know right now?
First question?
How traditional are you?
Traditional am I? I do not even understand what that means. How traditional am I? How traditional are you?
Zero traditional.
Zero traditional,
yes.
Really? Interesting. Okay. That's debatable, by the way. Okay. What's your name?
Elsie.
Elsie what?
Godwin.
Godwin.
Not
Do you have a traditional name?
Yes, I
Do
do.
you have a native name?
Yes, I
What
do.
is it?
Isioma.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Points. No, you see, it breaks my heart when I hear that the kind of response you first gave when you said zero traditional. You see, it's so sad. We're so quick to embrace other people's cultures, other people's traditions, but we scorn that which is ours. It shouldn't be. This is why we are where we are today. You know, you will never hear an American say that. When you say how American is zero American, or if he's from whatever tribe, they're always proud to say, okay, this is who I am. Do you understand? The fact that I'm here right now, you need to still know this is who I am, this is where I'm coming from. Because without if there's no history, there's no future. There's no present. You know, so and that is one of the problems that the present generation has. Do you understand? We think that anything tradition or culture is not cool. You know, it's just not cool. You know, so we need to, like, you know, be in touch with what's up all, you know, around the globe and everything. You know, it's like, hello. You came from somewhere. Do you understand? It's either you are Yoruba, you are Igbo, you are Hausa, you are Efik, you are Ibibio, you are whatever, you are Edo. You understand? And you should be you can't change that. There's no erasing it. There's no changing it. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. If you like, go and get an American citizenship. Do you understand? Born Peking, let your Peking born Peking to born Peking, that will be born Peking and everything, like 4, 5, 6, 7 generations. When they still have to trace, like even in America, there's an institution that chronicles the family trees. You understand? That chronicles and takes it all the way back. There's a reason why this has to be. It traces your genealogy. If you want to know where you're from, you can go. I don't know whether it's in the Library of Congress or something. I can't remember. Where you can go and trace your family tree to where. There's a reason. People do that.
Okay.
You might not really feel the need for that because you're young and fly and you don't really see the need to want to like connect with your roots. But you get to a stage in your life where it just becomes, it doesn't matter where you are at that time. It just dawns on you that, look, I need to reconnect with. Most people just do that these days, maybe because, you know, for political reasons and everything, they just go back and start doing it. You understand? But this is who you are, and you should live with that reality every day. Okay. If you ask me how traditional I am 100% traditional. Okay. How you interpret that is now left to you. Okay. Do you understand? Then talking about how my roles as the Jaguar of Vedeland affects my profession or my career. No, it doesn't really. Rather, I would say it redefines it, because as an actor, I mirror society. You know, I am supposed to propagate culture in all of its different shades. So it only helps to redirect me, sort of, you know, in everything I do. So right now, I'm more conscious of the way I represent my culture, or even Nigerian culture. I'm more cautious about that. Although I've always been very, very finicky when it comes to like details, when it comes to script and everything, especially when it comes to historical facts and all that. But I'm even more conscious now. So you don't just bring me a script or bring me anything and it talks about this and say this is how they say it. I would like to know, like, there was something we were working on some time back, and we're talking about, okay, how, like the Ajoche, the series that, you know, that was such a beautiful experience for me because there was so much detail put in, so much research that was done on Idoma culture. Okay. They actually went there spoke to people, interviewed the king. They spent I think months there. You understand? And you can see it in the end product. You know, and we have such a huge response from the Doma people. There's even a festival they're doing at the end of the year, and they are so excited to want to bring some of the artists on Ajochi on board, even though they are not in Doma. You know, so that shows that we've done a good job in representing that culture. You know, so I think we owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our children. I was talking some days back about how hypocritical Nigerians, especially the Yoruba people, I'm sorry to say, it's my tribe, but we are so hypocritical. We do not speak our language in the house. To the average Yoruba person, the mark of or the hallmark of your success is the fact that your children can speak English. Not just that they can speak English, but that they can't speak Yoruba.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. You are Yoruba now, you're Yoruba. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Do you understand? Growing up, in fact, some parents will like you when you're speaking.
Insisted we speak Yoruba.
Well,
we spoke English all the way.
You don't need to tell me. I mean, you don't need to say nothing. You know, I know, you understand? So as much as it's there's nothing wrong in wanting your child to, like, you know, I mean, flex himself intellectually by learning other languages and all of that. But he should not be disconnected from the roots.
Okay, all right. No, we need to quickly go on break. But before we do, I wanted you to answer the third question. What was the third?
I just want to go. If you're that cultural, how did you go from Osunkoya to Branch?
No, that was more of a spiritual thing.
Oh.
Okay. That was more of a spiritual thing. That had nothing to do with English or anything like that. It was more of a spiritual thing. Because even being a traditional person, I understand that there's the meanings of names are very significant, and it affects who you there's a spiritual angle to it, there's a spiritual side to it. So you don't tell me my name is Osunkoya, and you can't explain to me where that came about. Do you understand? There are so many names that came out of, in fact, naturally the way our names evolve in most of our cultures is from experiences, then from some allegiances and fealties that are sworn to certain deities and all of that. You know, at the end of the day, such things end up affecting the generations as they come, because most of the time they swear an oath to that deity, you understand, to do this or to be forever this. And as the years progress, the children don't even send that thing, and they begin to have problems, and it is that deity that is being ignored or neglected that is worrying them. That guy, we had a deal, we can always share it, what's going on, you understand? So that's the problem I had with it. So nobody could explain where that came about.
I'll check my name too for my too.
But can I just get a one-line response, because we really need to go on break. But you know, based on what you've just said now, did you notice any difference between when you had your previous name and when you had Branch? Did you notice any kind of
Hell to the yeah?
Okay, enough said then. All right. Well, before we ask the next question, we'll take a quick break and then we'll be right back. It's where the big stories live. This is Plus TV Africa.
When I did it, I was full on, hands-on on the whole project.
So how did you deal with it? All of that negativity?
I got depressed, obviously. Duh. Haven't you heard?
I've got two of the hottest topics currently trending on social media.
If you've seen the word Senate trending on Twitter, that's because the Nigerian police force has gone Trump style.
I probably haven't shared this with anyone, but I reckon I get about 100 people asking for help a day. That's a fact. I can prove that.
Welcome back. It's still tea time right here on Plus TV Africa, and we're moving on in our very interesting conversation with Nollywood actor and director Chief Baba Femi Branch. Now, before we carry on with the conversation, we're about to change things, to a completely different level. At the moment, we're going to be talking about gender inequality to do with Nollywood. It will be quite interesting to hear what Femi Branch has to say. But before we hear from him, we're going to take a quick look at this report that we did earlier on. So take a quick look at this report. Gender inequality in Nollywood.
Known as Nollywood is one of the largest export sectors in Nigeria. Nigerian movies are largely popular in Africa, where they currently outsell Hollywood films. As of 2014, Nollywood was worth $5.1 billion and makes up 5% of Nigeria's GDP. Over the years, Nollywood has embraced technology in distributing Nigerian movies with the advent and popularity of platforms such as Iroko TV, Scene One TV, and dedicated Nollywood YouTube channels. In addition, Nollywood has sold out more movies in Nigerian cinemas than Hollywood movies. While we await a more recent report on Nigeria's movie industry GDP, one can naturally expect an uphill climb with what the layman can clearly see.
The industry has evolved. We have a lot of upcoming young, beautiful, well-knowledgeable actresses. I call them actors as well.
Nollywood is an industry that comprises male and female actors. We have also seen the rise of female directors and producers in the last 2 to 3 years and can attest to their successes. Gender inequality in Nigeria is influenced by different cultures and beliefs. In most parts of Nigeria, women are considered subordinate to their male counterparts, especially in northern Nigeria. So, is gender inequality present in Nollywood?
It's vice versa. It's same. Men get roles, women get roles. It's actually better now. Before it was most men had the roles way back. But now it's a lot better. In fact, I think women, the ladies have more roles than the men now.
I think both sexes actually get opportunities because, like, there was a movie without the other sex, you know. Because a love story, you can't play like a love story with like 2 guys. It actually has to be like a girl and a guy.
Are men or women being marginalized? Do men have more opportunities than women?
A lot of women are in the industry. I think what we lack is a lot more men in industry because it's really difficult casting, finding the right guy. And it is when you're trying to cast for a male character that you realize that we don't even have enough men.
I do not think that Nollywood discriminates against gender. There are other areas of discrimination, but gender isn't necessarily amongst them.
What is the disparity in earnings for a male lead role and a female lead role? How are the figures decided?
Prices vary based on a lot of things, based on popularity, based on the class of the actor. So you have the A-list, the B-list, the C-list, and what have you. But the prices are basically influenced by popularity and how celebrated the actor is.
As for pay disparity, nobody thinks they're getting paid.
All right, so that was a clip regarding the reports that we did earlier on regarding gender inequality in Nollywood. So it'd be quite interesting to hear, you know, what you have to say, if you agree with some of the things that, you know, the directors were saying, or if you agree with some of what the actors were saying as well. And if you actually think there's a gender inequality in the industry.
Well, I'm relieved. Actually, to have heard the responses of my colleagues, because when I first heard that they're talking about gender equality as well as regarding pay in Nollywood, I was like, that doesn't exist, you know. So, and yeah, I was aware that some people had been interviewed, so I was really curious to hear what they had to say. And I thought I was going to have to like do like a, you know, what you call it, but they are very much on point. The thing is that gender inequality in Nollywood, it's like you've heard my colleague say, there are different areas, you understand, but when it comes to work, the Nollywood of today, it's largely by merit, largely. I know that there are still some discrepancies here and there, but it is largely by merit, you know. And we've gone to a stage where it's whether you're male, you're female. Like someone said there, as long as you're worth it, you have the you know your onions, and you have the popularity as market factors are using judging pay and all of that. You know, you have to, of course, have the face. You know, before they used to call it the face. You know, you have to have the market face. You know, now there's a cinema face and all of that. So those are the things that, like, you know, affect the price. It's not whether you're male or you're female. I'm even glad that somebody said that there are even more female, even in the industry right now, than male. And it would surprise you to know that if we look at the highest earners in Nollywood presently, in fact, for some years now, you might be shocked to find out that they're female. The highest earners, they're female, not even male. So gender inequality as regarding pay does not exist.
Okay. All right, then. We're a bit pushed for time, so we're going to sort of end the show right here. But like we said earlier on, we'll probably have some more time with you after the show. So that's where we're going to have to draw the curtains today on the show. Join us later tomorrow for a brand new episode of the program. Until then, a big thank you to my co-anchors, Ife and Elsie, the entire production team, and last but not least, our studio guest, Chief Baba Femi Branch. I'm talking about I was saying thanks for watching and have yourself a good evening.